The concept of the mask comes from a conversation I had with a leader in my original research who confessed that, at the start of his journey, he felt like an imposter. When he was promoted within the company, he knew he was ill-equipped to cope with such a big job, so he attempted to fake it and put on the mask of the tough guy. He thought, "It's working for my boss, he's scaring the hell out of me." When this didn't work, he thought, "I'll try the nice guy." Not surprisingly, this also failed, and he admitted to me that he felt like a bit of a fake. I draw a parallel between this leader's masking and that of the Phantom in the famous musical The Phantom of the Opera. Just like the Phantom, this leader knew he was wearing a mask, the leader's team knew he was wearing a mask, and he knew that they knew he was wearing a mask, and yet no one was talking about the mask. Another leader attempted to maintain the image of a golden boy while internally having a crisis of self-doubt. Another maintained an exterior of perfection whilst privately feeling exhausted by keeping up the facade. I found that each of the leaders were masking in some way during their leadership journeys, though not all of them adopted the Phantom's mask. Rather than consciously concealing themselves, several of the leaders actually adopted a different persona at work in an effort to be successful. This resembled Jim Carrey's alter ego in the movie The Mask, where he actually becomes the flamboyant and aggressive character called The Mask. One leader originally took pride in being a leader of a team that was regarded as the special forces of the public sector. While this had served him well early in his career, his extremely aggressive behaviour increasingly damaged relationships and created enemies. Just as Jim Carrey's character realises that the mask isn't all it's cracked up to be, this leader realised that the authoritarian persona he had adopted was at odds with his deeply held values as a leader and as a parent. All of the leaders in my original study reached a point where they wanted to demask as they realised their mask was no longer delivering success or had become too heavy to uphold any longer. The internal conflict they were feeling often increased their readiness to drop the mask. This readiness was reinforced by their teams in group forums, where subordinates pressured their leader to accept their failings and engage authentically in the process of change. This is what the renowned scholar Edgar Schein calls coercive persuasion. Once a leader drops their mask, they need to rebuild their leadership identity. This rebuilding process entails exploring the leader's aspirations, values and strengths, and the important roles they play in their professional and personal life. In this way, leaders are able to drop their mask and craft a more meaningful and congruent leadership identity. In each case, the new identity is not only fully aligned to the leader's vision for their leadership, but also to their life as a whole. As Gandhi once said, "Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony." With the dropping of the mask, the leader sent a message that being authentic was now far more important than appearing perfect. This led to the profound insight from one leader that the power this congruence unleashes is practically atomic in scale. You get more done, you build more trust, your interactions with people become more enriching, you feel more fulfilled, and on it goes.